Welcome to Lahore, the cultural capital of Pakistan and the second largest city in this entire country. Now I'm standing in the old part of Lahore. This part was built by the Mughals. It's a royal city. And the mosque behind me is Badshahi Mosque, the icon of Pakistan, whereas on the other side we have the Lahore Fort and Minar Pakistan. The Pakistan resolution was passed. This is the old part of the city, which was walled before, and it had 12 gates to let people in and out. Now, it is a vibrant, chaotic, absolutely energetic part of Lahore, which is also very, very busy when it comes to traffic, and a lot of honking goes on here by the cars. So, I want to show you a bit more of this beautiful city, but I want to tell you a few things before we move on to make your trip more interesting and exciting. So let's go. Getting to Lahore is not difficult at all. There's an international airport and plenty of domestic flights if you're coming from other parts of the country. But getting around in Lahore, that's another matter. So you can use Uber or Careem. There are two apps to order yourself a rickshaw, a bike, or a car to get around. I would not recommend driving here because the traffic is absolutely mental and crazy, and no one really follows the rules. They don't even follow the lane system, so don't drive here. I would also recommend that you stay on the Mall Road, which is really nice. It's equidistant from the old and the new Lahore, so it's quite easy to travel around. The old part of Lahore doesn't really have any good hotels, and it's also very chaotic and very, very loud. So stay on the Mall Road. It's also quite a nice place, you know. Most of the colonial era buildings are located on the Mall Road. Let's start our tour of Lahore, and we are starting with Delhi Gate. This is the walled city of Lahore. I'm right outside one of the 12 gates that covered this beautiful old royal city, the city of Mughals. This is Delhi Gate, and it leads to the fort, and it was one of the most important gates in Lahore. It is a very busy part of the city, but it's great if you want to do some souvenir shopping here. There's some wonderfully colorful clothes here. A busy but very colorful 10 minutes walk later, we arrive at the Wazir Mosque. This is Wazir Khan Mosque, one of the most beautiful Mughal era mosques that was built by the Emperor Shah Jahan. Now he built it in a very, very specific, beautiful architectural style called Kashikari, and it was built sort of as an amalgamation of the beautiful Persian culture, which you can see, as well as the Mughal era. The explosion of colors inside is absolutely amazing. Despite not being in a very good condition, it's still really, really peaceful, beautiful inside. And there's just certain sense of calm in all this explosion of colors inside. And don't forget to wear something appropriate for this visit to the mosque. Barely a few hundred meters away is another gem that's been recently added to the Lahore historical landscape, the Shahi Hammam. I'm inside the Royal Bathhouse, which is right next to the Wazir Mosque. So despite its name, it was not actually made for the king because they used to have their own inside the Lahore Fort. We'll see that. And this is more for commoners. The traffic in Lahore is absolutely crazy. You can look right behind me, and this isn't even like a very busy roundabout. You must be really brave to drive here. See? People love honking and no one follows any rules. So please be very careful. No one actually follows the zebra crossings either. So you have to be careful everywhere. No visit to Lahore is complete without a tour of the grand, magnificent, beautiful, imposing Lahore Fort, of course. Welcome to Lahore Fort, and we're gonna start with something interesting that you won't find in any other fort in the world. So this is what you call Hathi Pair or elephant foot. The steps are extra wide because this is what the king used to use basically to go up to his private chambers on an elephant. I'm in the main area of the Lahore Fort now, but I want to show you some of the beautiful views you get from here. So this, on the right hand side, is the Sikh Gurdwara or Sikh temple. That is the Lahore Badshahi Mosque, and that is the main entrance of the Lahore Fort. So I'm in the private quarters of the king and the queen now, and this is what we call the Sheesh Mahal or the Palace of Mirrors. It was so beautifully, intricately designed. This part of the fort is most interesting and beautiful. It's very easy to imagine the emperor enjoying some leisurely time with his wife, the queen, and people singing and dancing to entertain them. Mughals are really obsessed with beauty, intricacy, and the raw material for the mirror palace was brought in from as far as Europe and Syria at the time. The Mughals were not just brilliant engineers, they were also deeply romantic. This is the Queen's chamber, And if you light a single candle, you'll be able to see its reflection in every single mirror in the ceiling, so she could enjoy a starry night in her bed. Welcome to Badshahi Mosque, one of the grandest and most beautiful mosques in the entire world. This icon of Lahore was built by the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, with an exterior that is decorated with carved red sandstone with marble inlay. The interior of the mosque is typical Mughal. It's beautiful, it's detailed, it's intricate, but it's not same as Wazir Khan Mosque because this is rather elegant and follows a simple color pattern. Really get a feel of its beauty, you must come here an hour before sunset to see the colors changing in the sky. I am at Kamran Baradari. This is a beautiful building right behind me. Now, this is not really a palace. It was built by the Mughal kings to actually sit and enjoy the view of the beautiful River Ravi and these gardens that I'm standing in right now. With time, the River Ravi, which flew on both sides here, receded. There's not much of it left now, but the building still stands. Sadly, it's in a bit of a bad shape, but I believe there's a project going on to restore it and install lightings and all. It's still a great place to come and enjoy the view of these gardens and to actually see what it was like for the Mughal kings to sit and actually enjoy their time here. We're on the rooftop and this is the view you get from here. This is another one of beautiful Mughal architectural pieces. The Mughal kings made this place to come and enjoy the beautiful view of River Ravi. I am currently in Akbari Serai, which is another part of Lahore. And it is an old-time motel where the merchants passing through would get these rooms. You know, you see these little arches behind me? They used to be all rooms for the merchants. But the real beauty of this place lies right behind me. This is the entrance to the tomb of Mughal King Jahangir. And it is really beautiful. I'm standing at the tomb of Mughal King Jahangir, and this beautiful building is another piece of Mughal architecture. The minarets on the mausoleum are called the dancing minarets because when it rains, it actually produces an effect as if they're dancing. And this entire complex was built by his son Shah Jahan to honor his legacy. Despite being a beautiful building, this is not on the tourist radar for a lot of people, especially a lot of people from Lahore don't know about this building.
but that makes it absolutely worth visiting because you get a lot of peace and quiet here.
You can't come to Lahore and not sit in a rickshaw. Look at that, it's so bloody amazing. I love these. Welcome to the food street of Lahore. There's a few here actually, because everything, all the socializing here depends on food. There are no bars, there are no clubs, so everything has to be around food. So people, when they meet each other, it's usually for food. This is the food street. We'll try a few restaurants and explore, and I'll leave you to some footage of all the food that I tried around Lahore. Enjoy! You can't not come to Lahore and have a karai. This is how they make it. When you get bread in Pakistan, you don't eat with knife and fork. All you gotta do is break off a little bit from the side, and then you basically envelop it around whatever you want to eat. There you go. Voila.
No matter which part of Lahore you're in, old or new, you're never far from good food. Do try some karahi, some Thai, and barbecue. You will not be disappointed.
I am at the Lahore Mall Road right now, and this is where most of the colonial era buildings in Lahore are. So it starts from the General Post Office, there's MAO College, there's Lahore Museum, and this is the Town Hall of Lahore. If you are interested in architecture, you must take a stroll down this road. Traffic is a bit crazy, so be very careful, but if you like architecture, this one is a must. This is Shalimar Garden, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This beautiful garden was made based on a utopian concept of paradise. So the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan built this, and with time, this has been kept absolutely amazing. It has been renovated recently. There's beautiful plants and flowers. There's a lot of fountains to make this place ever so interesting. Let's go explore it a bit.
These gardens were built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, and despite not looking like it, they actually cover a huge area. And from the busy life of Lahore, they actually offer a beautiful and calm respite. for our next stop, we have to go a little bit outside Lahore to Hiran Minar in Sheikhupura.
This is Hiran Minar, the one right behind me. It is not inside Lahore. It's about like an hour and a half to get here. You'll need your own car. There's no public transport. It was built by the Emperor Jahangir to honor his favorite antelope, Mansraj. That's the tower that's called Hiran Minar, or the Antelope Tower. And it was used by Jahangir as his jungle or, hunting retreat away from the busyness of the walled city of Lahore. Hello from Wagah. This is the border between India and Pakistan, one of the most intense enemies in the entire world. But we're here to see the beating retreat ceremony, so I hope it lives up to its, reputation. Let's see. I am in Bagh, Jinnah, which has this beautiful library, and the gardens associated with it are absolutely nice, and a lot of people come here. So I just came back from Wagah and I wanted to share what an incredible experience that's been. I've never seen anything like this at a border. It's just so charged, so raw, and like the chivalry, the chauvinism, the testosterone just flies off from both sides. Sadly, the Indian side was quiet because of COVID, so only got to see the Lahore side. But it was still an incredibly amazing experience, one I would highly recommend not missing. So if you're a foreigner coming to Pakistan, make sure you take your passport with you, because that actually buys you a little bit of a privilege and they don't stop you from going in. This is Brown Boy Travels. Do subscribe, like and share. You can also reach me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next video.